Hey y'all, my name is Alex, and in this brief course slash tutorial, I'm going to share every single piece of advice that I have learned during my TikTok journey that has enabled me to make thousands of dollars on this platform without going live, just by posting on my channel. I was not an early adopter to TikTok. I did not benefit from joining early in 2020 and having that big jump when everyone was inside during the pandemic. I joined extremely late, the end of 2021. I believe just a few days before the new year. TikTok had already been around for years at that point, and building a channel from the ground up, especially one that has had so many hundreds of millions of views, was a difficult journey. And I'm going to share every single thing that helped me along the way, my tips, tricks, what I learned. And in this brief tutorial, I am going to just teach you whatever I can to help you grow your account, because I've been seeing so many mutuals and videos on my For You page of people saying my views are down, I'm not getting views, I don't know what to do, I feel like the algorithm has changed, it's so hard on this platform now. And I'm going to show you how I go viral so often, and I'm calling this course Viral Every Day, and I'm just going to teach you everything I know. And also, one of my tenets for TikTok and just life in general is it's never the right time to post. It is never the perfect time to do something. So you always should push yourself to just do it anyway. And so I have a big red zit on my nose. This is not the perfect time. I don't look glamorous and gorgeous, but there's never a perfect time to do something. So we're just going to dive in anyway. To show you that I am legit, here's how much money I made from the creator program in 2022 and the first part of 2023. I'm now in creativity program beta, so that's why it cuts off around May 1st of 2023. But over the course of that year, when I was in the creator fund, which pays way less than creativity program, I managed to make $3,728.50, which is a lot of money for a side hustle. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I did that. And since joining the creativity program beta, I think I got into the program in May. I don't know why I chose April there, because there's zero earnings for that month. But I started in May, and since then I've made $863. And each of these big jumps is when I'm doing all of the things that I'm going to teach you about in the videos. And each of the dips is when I was taking a break from TikTok and I wasn't posting at all. So I know that my strategies work, and I'm going to teach you everything I know. So the first thing that I want to discuss with you is the frequency with which you post. So I believe that the way to get maximum results on the platform is to post around 10 to 20 times per day. I know you might be thinking there is no way I have 10 to 20 posts in me, but I promise you, once you work up to that number, it becomes very easy to do. I typically make my 10 to 20 posts in around an hour. A lot of my content is me sharing personal life stories, sharing reviews of television and film, and also reacting to the celebrity news or politics of the day. And I am definitely not one of those strategists who says that you need to have a very specific niche. I don't believe in that. I think that the way that you build an audience is by just literally leaning into whatever you are interested in. I never post something that I don't think is fascinating, and that's the way that I believe so many of my videos go viral, because I often am very excited when I'm talking about things. I also approach TikTok in a slightly different way, in that I prefer green screen content. I prefer for you just to see my head and my profile. I don't do a full body thing that most people do. I typically have a piece of media or a tweet or some sort of news event that is the foreground that grabs the attention, and then I am the commentator. I'm the talking head, the MSNBC type figure who's just here's what I think about this, here's how this relates to my life, here's what this brings up for me. This is a different strategy than I see a lot of popular creators taking. And while I feel like it might not yield lots of followers, because a lot of my content is idea specific instead of me specific, I do think it yields a lot of views and a potential to make a lot of money on the platform. As you can see, I have 12.7 million likes, and the amount of views that I've had on the platform, likes is obviously a fractional amount of the amount of views. I want to say it's somewhere in the 200 to 300 million range. I know when they did the wrap up last year, they said it had 200 million views for that year, and so I believe I've had about 100 million since then. I'll definitely show screenshots of my analytics so I can show you how many views we're talking about here. But I'm going to show you what worked for me and how I think this could help you. So the first thing, my first piece of advice is make sure that you are posting at least 10 times a day and ideally 20 times. But again, it's you don't want to flood your channel with just kind of BS. You want to make sure it's things that you actually care about. So we're going to get into how can you actually post something that is exciting to you at such frequency, and also a way that you can work smarter, not harder. So in the next step, I'm going to be talking about when is the right time to repost. And this is a piece of advice that most content strategists do not give that I am very much for, and I'm going to tell you why. So if you post regularly on the platform, because the platform does try to let you succeed, you will inevitably have at least one viral video. And my advice is that you should be reposting that viral video at least once every 3 months because of follower churn, because there's always new people coming to the platform, and also because your videos are only in circulation for a certain metric of time. That video that might have done really well 2 years ago might do even better today, and we are not going to know that unless you post it. So let me give you a few examples. This video that is on my profile that is pinned, this is about a TV show that I loved called Rain. I'm breaking down a really interesting thing where Adelaine Kane, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name, had a really interesting viral moment a few years ago where she expressed that she wasn't making that much money on her TV show. Now, the first time I posted this, it was me talking about how this was my comfort show in college, breaking down what happened to her and just saying sort of that I really like her as a person and I really loved this show. The video got about 70,000 views. It did moderately okay. This was before I was even in a monetizable place, so I didn't really care either way. I was just posting for fun. When I reposted that video many months after the first time I had posted it, it got, you can see, 500,000 views. So there could have been the conclusion from posting it the first time that this video at its max only will engage about 70,000 viewers, but that is completely untrue. Also, I'm going to get into this later, but posting videos across platforms, because a video that doesn't do that well on TikTok might do really well on Instagram or YouTube. For example, this video where I'm reacting to a viral question on Twitter in which they're talking about Game of Thrones seasons, it did do really well here, but on YouTube it did like 10 times as well. That video has millions of views. So but back to my point, this video about Adeline Kane, it did really well the second time. 500,000 views is great. And now this third time, the one that's pinned on my profile, and I've actually probably posted it maybe like 5 times, so I don't know if this is the third or the fifth, but now that there's the writer's strike, this information in this video becomes extremely relevant again. Now her reaction to her lack of pay and the amount of money that she had take home now becomes relevant to what people are talking about in like prominent discourse. So posting the video again and then putting a little banner saying, bringing this video back because I think it's really relevant to the SAG-AFTRA strike. Now that video is getting 200,000, 300,000 views. And because I'm getting paid at a higher scale, I'm making $200 or $300 from that same video that the first time only netted me 70,000 views that I was not paid for. So the conclusion is, post your videos again and again. My take is to do it every 3 months, because every 3 months you have like a whole new season of people who are following you. Each season of, life is completely different. In the summer, there's lots of people who are out of school, out of work. In the fall, it's people who are checking their phones a lot while they're at work, while they're at school. You're always getting new followers, new people. And so people that didn't get to see it. Another great example of this is this Phantom of the Megaplex Chad Michael Murray video, in which I talk about Chad Michael Murray, the people that he's married, his time on Gilmore Girls. I just love the show Gilmore Girls, and I'm also fascinated by him and a Cinderella story, all these different things. The video, the very first time, got 3 million views, which obviously is very good. I think I was paid somewhere, this was back when I was in the Creator Fund, and I believe you got $20 to $40 per million views, so I ended up making a few $100s off that. But this same video, as you can see, it's very viral. People are interested in it. There's, ways that I could study the hook, all these things. But instead of, thinking about it too deeply, I'm just going to recognize, okay, this video did really well. Now I'm going to repost it every 3 months and see if it reaches a new audience. And each time that I've posted it, it's gotten at least a few 100,000 views. This most recent time, which is the 4th or 5th time I've posted it, it got about 60,000 views. So we're seeing that people are reacting to this. People think this is interesting. Now, one of the things that I used to do that I no longer recommend, this was when I was first starting out my channel before I was monetized, I would post clips from TV shows and films that I really liked. Like, for example, you can see 2.8 million views on this clip from Stranger Things. This is before my channel was monetized, and I just liked this show and I thought it was really funny. I would not recommend doing this now, because now, especially if you're in any sort of monetizable program, if you're in Creator Fund or Creativity Program Beta, make sure that you are always abiding by like copyright concerns. I would never post a video like this now, because one, it would not be monetizable for Creativity Program Beta, and I just wouldn't want to risk any sort of copyright concerns. Same with this speech from some award show, and people reacted really. It was emotional. I loved it at the time, but I wouldn't post something like this now. Now I only post things in which I am speaking to the camera and I am like reacting to the content, or it is content that I have like created. That way it like abides by all sort of copyright laws and all sort of things like that. So another example of reposting your hits, my most viral video ever is a very, very short video. And at the time that I was in the Creator Fund, not Creativity Program Beta, I was being paid for all views as opposed to only views that are longer than a minute. So at the time, I made sure to keep all of my videos less than 10 seconds. A lot of it would just be me offering a very quick, what do you think about this? Oh, I think this is super interesting. This reminds me of this, with the intent to generate a lot of engagement, which grows your channel quite quickly. So as you can see, this is a very viral idea, how to get 46 days off using 18 days of PTO. You probably see it circulating around your social media all the time. I shared a very quick message about why I think it's important for us all to be taking more breaks and why we should share this information with each other. And because the information is generates a lot of engagement, people are all sharing their stories. They're saying, oh, I get these days off at my work, I don't get these days off. And so every single time I post that video, it does really well. And so really keeping a keen eye on what are your videos that are doing well, and how can you repurpose them? How can you be posting them once every 3 months, once every month, whatever is the frequency that feels most comfortable for you. Also, when you're starting off your channel, let's say that you haven't reached that 10,000 follower mark yet to qualify you for the Creator Fund or Creativity Program Beta. What you want to be doing is posting really short, loopable videos. The shorter the video, the higher likelihood that someone is going to watch the video to completion. And the things that TikTok pays attention to are the completion rate, the comments, and then the engagement. So a lot of people think that having like longer videos is what you should be doing because TikTok is pushing longer content. I would only do that if you are getting paid for longer content. So I post longer videos because I get paid for longer content. So that's makes sense to me. But if you're looking to grow your channel, reach new followers, you want to have things that are very short and that inspire a lot of engagement. So a short, simple question, you, an idea, or you and an image asking a simple question that everybody's going to have an opinion on. If there's a celebrity event that happens that day, be like, oh my gosh, did you see this? What did you think about it? And make sure it's something that you actually are interested in, because we want to make sure we're being our authentic selves. Like, don't post about things that you don't care about, because then responding and having conversations with people in the comments is going to be inauthentic. So making sure that you're just reacting to things that you actually think are interesting. So you're watching the news, you're scrolling on Twitter, you're finding out about the world events of the day, something shocks you, you're like, wow, that's crazy. Literally make a green screen, record a video of you saying, what do you think about this? This is really interesting. I would love to talk to people about it. And then as people comment, talk to them in the comments, because the things that are going to generate engagement, which is going to push your video into the viral territory, is the number of comments and how many people loop that video. And every time someone comments, as they're typing, the video is going to get looped again, and it's going to be more likely to get millions of views. Now, when my channel was at the height of its popularity, I was in the Creator Fund, not Creativity Program Beta, and I was generating about 1 million to 10 million views per day, which sounds like a lot, but as you can see, even at my peak, the most I was ever paid for one day was when I got 11 million views, and I was paid only $200. 11 million views, by contrast, in the Creativity Program Beta would probably be like $11,000. So it's a completely different ballgame. But you can see that especially during 2022, when House of the Dragon, Rings of Power, there was a lot of cultural buzz around big TV shows that everyone was watching, that I myself was a big fan of, and that I knew sharing and talking about these things would generate a lot of engagement. So one, making sure to be really researching trends, thinking about what is everyone interested in that I am also interested in, and what can I add add to the conversation. Even if it's just sharing how much of a fan you are, if it's asking questions about a fandom, what you think is really interesting, all of that type of stuff is going to generate engagement. And as you can see, during that period, I was making a lot of money. But what changed, the reason why I decided to switch to Creativity Program Beta, one is because at the time I was in Creator Fund, Creativity Program Beta did not exist yet. And once it was released, I decided to join it after they gave me the invitation to. But I completely shifted my whole content strategy, because at this time, my whole strategy was trying to post as often as possible, as short as possible, and with maximum engagement. Now I'm no longer in a place where I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm in a place where I'm trying to just post longer form things that are going to net me a pretty good income, and so that I can interact with the community that I've already built. And so I'm just focusing a lot on nurturing. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between when you want to focus on growth and when you want to focus on nurturing. And my advice is to do both at the same time throughout. So when you're doing those 10 to 20 posts a day, consider making 10 of them super short, likely to be viral posts, and 20 longer ones that are about 1 to 3 minutes long. Also, just for full transparency, my channel is no longer getting as many views because I'm not posting as many short videos as it did during its peak in October of 2022. Right now, I typically average about, you can see, 1 million views a week, and this is across short videos and long videos. And I am not paid for that full 1.3 million views because I only get paid for videos that are longer than 1 minute. So we're going to look into this in this next little section of this series. We're going to talk about how much you can make when you are in the Creativity Program Beta, and what the pay structure looks like, because I think it's quite confusing for a lot of people. And some people are like, well, why wouldn't you want to be paid for everything? Why would you want to have specifications? And we're going to talk about why I made the decision and why I would recommend that as soon as you can, if you post long content, you do too. So in Creativity Program Beta, there's what's called qualified views. So you get paid for videos that, one, have to be longer than 1 minute. The video has to make at least 1,000 views before it becomes even eligible for monetization. Users have to watch for at least 5 seconds, and there has to be no dislikes. So it's like they don't count negative engagement. So that discourages people from posting polarizing content. So here is an example of a video that I posted recently in which I was talking about an issue that's very important to me. I was talking about collectivism and why it's important to normalize families and friends taking care of one another, because it was quite like buzzy topic and was in reference to a viral TikTok that someone else had made. It was my response to them. The video generated a lot of engagement, which then pushed it into that viral territory. I believe it has about 240,000 views at this point. And because the video is multiple minutes long, this means that I'm going to be making money from that content. So as you can see, even though the video itself was multiple minutes long, I didn't get paid for every view, right? I got 163,900 qualified views. And your RPM, which is the rate that you're paid for each 1,000 views, is going to be different depending on engagement metrics. So if there's a lot of comments, if there's a lot of watching all the way through to the end, then you're going to have a higher RPM. I've had RPMs as high as, I believe, 150, and I've had RPMs as low as 70 cents. So you're not going to be getting that $1 for sure every time. It's going to determine a lot. It's going to be determined by how engaged people are with the video. So as you can see, in the first 7 days, this video did really well, because there's a few other videos on my channel that are going viral, and because this is pinned, as people visit my profile, this is one of the first videos they see. So there's been a little uptick in the past few days, but I just want to kind of explain a little bit more about the pay structure there. The first video of mine that went viral in Creativity Program Beta is this video that has about 330,000 views right now, in which I talk about a new TV show called Silo, and I break down what the show's about, why you should watch it, why I'm excited. I love this show, and this is going to be me sharing a mistake that I made that I should have not done. So as you can see, there was a huge drop off in how much I was paid for this video. The video itself went viral and did really well, and I was doing all the things you're supposed to do, responding to comments. I used appropriate hashtags. I tagged Apple TV for potential collaboration, all these things. But then what would have made logical sense, since I really set up a whole viewership about this show, is to make a playlist with videos breaking down the episodes, and I did not do that. So as you can see, the video was viral, viral, made only $50, and then I did not capitalize on that potential opportunity. So always pay attention to what your followers are excited about. Now we're going to talk a little bit about how to structure your videos to make them engaging so that people are going to watch to the end. So here I followed a strategy of having a hook in which you both compliment the viewer and also let them know about an experience that they're going to have only from you that they couldn't possibly get anywhere else. So I open the video and I say, oh my gosh, if you are watching this, you are extremely cutting edge because this TV show just came out yesterday. So in that hook, I'm letting them know, if you're watching this is a good thing, that you being here is really smart of you. You probably have good taste. And two, there is a brand new opportunity that you didn't know about before that I only can tell you about. So this encourages people to sort of ask, what's the question? What's going to happen? So at the time I was listening to the audiobook, watching the TV show. It had just premiered on Apple TV. And so I was really on top of, trends. And so this is why it's important to be paying attention to, depending on your niche, what are the news events that are happening in your sector. So I'm like media, television, film, celebrity news, politics. But if you were fashion and you were reporting on designers, then you would want to be like, this runway show just happened yesterday and you will not believe what so-and-so model walked down the runway in. If your sector is books, which I also do participate in, you'd be like, this author just released this book yesterday and you will not believe what she says in chapter 2. Having a hook in which you invite them to know that they're going to learn something from you that they can't learn anywhere else, and that you are gifting them with valuable information is always going to be smart. Structuring your hooks in the way that is most authentic to you is always important. And this is definitely not something that I consciously do on every video. A lot of times when I'm making content, it's just stream of consciousness. And it's sometimes if I'm being very intentional and thinking about all of the strategies that I've learned, the video is more likely to go viral. But I'm in a place with my TikTok career that I feel very comfortable just posting whatever is interesting to me. And I'm not really in a place where I'm seeking actively for growth. But if you are in that growth stage, thinking really, really strategically about the hook that you're using is quite important, because what you're going to really want to be maximizing is, engagement and making sure that people are watching to the end of your video. This, I should say, is also if you're only posting videos longer than a minute. So this is probably most applicable to, people who post longer videos, people who are in Creativity Fund Beta. But the same applies if you're posting really short videos. If you're posting a short video that is less than 15 seconds or that is less than 30 seconds, you still want to get that high quality hook in there so that it's going to generate the maximum amount of engagement. So next we're going to talk just a little bit about when you should take down a video. Now, I am mostly an advocate of leave every video up forever, because you never know when a video is going to go viral. I have had instances where a video I posted in October got maybe a couple thousand views, and then later that summer, we're talking like 8 months later, went on to get 600,000 views. So you never know when a video is going to do quite well. But I think what I want to focus on more in this video, and I'll give that example in the next section, is when to take down something. So I recently had a moment where I expressed an opinion about Troye Sivan's latest music video. I love Troye Sivan. I love his music, but I was talking about inclusivity with plus-size dancers. This was something that kind of was just kept within my following for a while, until a very prominent creator made a stitch in which they vocally disagreed with me. And then my video was then thrust into virality. And even though I was making a lot of money from that video because it was longer than a minute, I was receiving a lot of negative comments that were bringing people to my channel that weren't my people who don't have my same political, economic, social, all these types of beliefs, and people that I do not want to be exposed to. And so at around the 194,000 mark, I made the decision that, this isn't a positive mental experience. I'm getting a lot of negative comments, a lot of nasty comments from people that aren't my followers, people who aren't my people, and I decided to private the video. My advice is don't ever actually delete a video. One, because at a later date, you might decide that you're comfortable with it being in circulation. Two, it's not good for the algorithm and metrics to delete content, but privating it, making it so that only you can see it, then takes it out of circulation so that those people no longer have access to that. So I've done that probably 2 or 3 times. I've only had 2 or 3 pretty negative experiences. This was one of them, and then let me find the other. The other was quite early on in my TikTok career when I posted a short video reacting to a viral tweet about Game of Thrones. The video was stitched by a bigger creator who also disagreed with me in a sort of nasty way. I'm totally fine with people disagreeing with me. I encourage all types of conversation, but this led to a lot of scary comments that were not good for my mental health. So I decided to just take down the video. So you just have to really make the decision yourself, but my advice is that when your mental health is at stake, your mental health is the most important thing. And so take down a video that either no longer resonates with you or that is causing you mental distress. If you are totally fine with the video, but it just didn't perform well, my advice is to leave it up as long as you possibly can. So here is a good example of why you should always leave up videos. Also, really quickly, another tip is that don't wait for the camera to start recording before you talk. Start talking and then press record as you're talking. I might not have been doing that in this course, but that is what you should do. And especially for Gen Z, they find it strange that millennials and ages older than that we do a pause to make sure the tech is recording before we start speaking. So always just start speaking right away. That awkward pause, either trim it out of your video or just try to avoid it altogether. But here is an example of a video that when I first posted it, it was a breakdown of season 1, episode 1 of Westworld, one of my favorite shows, in which I'm talking about history of the show, things that I find interesting. When I first posted that video, it only got about 1,000 views, right? So like you see that has drastically changed. Now it's at 475,000 views. Every single time I've reposted that video, it has gotten a few 100,000 views. So this is a very a video that engages people, a video that's interesting to people. And obviously, as HBO Max became Max and took Westworld off of its platform, reposting the video at that time, because that's a time when people are searching the name Westworld, where you can watch it, what happened to it, it then becomes relevant again. But my point is that you never know when your video is going to be like a sleeper hit. You know what I mean? Like I posted that originally in October. The video didn't take off until the following summer, right? Like this past summer. So you just never know. So because like our example in the last video, it just was an underperforming video, but one that, I felt no way about. It didn't affect my mental health in any way to leave it up. I decided to leave it up for the long haul, see if it might become a video that was engaged later, and then it ended up becoming that. So my advice to you is to only take down videos or delete videos that are negatively impacting your mental health, and leave up all other videos, even if they're underperformers, because you never know when someone is going to come to that content, write a comment that sends the video going viral. So another piece of advice that I have that has worked really well for me is to overuse the playlist feature. I put every single video that I post into a playlist. So as soon as this feature becomes available to you, I would make a playlist for every single grouping of topics possible. This has led to so many new followers, so much new engagement, because what happens is someone is watching a video, it's going viral. Let's say like this student loan video, it did okay, 18,000 views, that's pretty good. And then they decide, you know what, this is interesting. I wonder other videos on this topic. Now they click into this and now they see a whole playlist about politics, universal basic income, climate change, all tangentially related issues. And it's all in this big playlist called Ideas to Consider, which I talk a lot about, kind of ideas that are important for us to think about like labor rights, workers' rights, political things. And so using that playlist feature has really, really helped me to not only, bring a follower in, but to keep them hooked and to give them a whole host of videos that are on the same exact topic. So instead of them having to search your name, search a topic, they can just stay right on your playlist, and then you're getting all that views and all that engagement. Now, the time when this was most successful for me using the playlist feature was when I was making a lot of content, as you can see, 930 individual videos about House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, two shows that I really love dearly and have been a fan of my whole life since they came out. I love George R.R. Martin. I love his books. This is a two-part advice. One, posting about things that you genuinely are really passionate about. Like, I love that show and I want to talk about it to anyone. I have so many thoughts on it. I've watched every episode multiple times. I've read all the books. And so it's really easy for me to have a lot of excitement and enthusiasm when posting about it, when posting fun facts, when posting reaction videos to viral tweets, things like that. But I think something that really helped is that people like myself and everyone else are craving community. People want to connect with with people that share the same interests. And so when House of the Dragon was premiering, Game of Thrones is already a very popular show. House of the Dragon was very hotly anticipated. I was following all the news events, and I thought, if I'm following this so closely, I bet other people are interested too. And so I started posting my 10 to 20 videos a day in this same playlist. And so then when someone who's like me, a super fan of the show, they're like watching one of these viral videos, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I can watch 900 more videos on the same exact topic. And then because fans are then commenting their thoughts, their theories, it then creates a space, a forum for people to interact with other fans, to have discussions, to have arguments, to have agreements, all sorts of things. And so the more that you can think of yourself as the person who is creating forums for discussion on ideas that you were really interested in, the more successful you'll be. One thing that's also important to know is that if you plan on sharing your TikTok videos on other social media sites, which I highly recommend that you do, because it is my firm belief that a video that might perform well on TikTok could perform even better on another site, or if it doesn't perform as well on TikTok, it might perform great on YouTube or any of the other streaming platforms. My belief is that you should record initially in TikTok itself or CapCut, and then you should remove the watermark and then repost it to all of your socials. And so I am a social media manager and I manage multiple clients, and one of the difficult things initially was figuring out how I could repurpose their TikTok videos on other platforms and remove the watermark while increasing and maintaining the quality of the video. So I'm going to let you know how I do that. So the service that I use, and it does cost money, I think I pay $60 a year for it, is called Snaptic Plus. It is an app that you can download from the App Store. And as you can see, when you copy a link and put it into Snaptic, you can then look at the video analytics, which is also really helpful. I think TikTok's analytics are great, but it's also helpful to see in real time, like how much the video is getting engagement, how many comments, but you can also download the video then to your device without any sort of watermark. I would like to note that it appears that this is not always necessary. As you can see, there are some videos that I took from my TikTok and uploaded to my YouTube channel that still managed to do really well engagement-wise, getting hundreds of thousands of views, in this case, 1 million views on this short. That being said, I think that if you are interested in monetizing on other platforms, it's really, really important to take that watermark away, because you want to build an image portfolio with a video that is not associated with another platform. So while early on, I made what I would consider now to be a mistake of uploading my TikTok videos to YouTube with the watermark still on, now I use Snaptic for both my clients and for myself whenever I'm uploading a video to another platform. Because I also do have a sizable audience on Twitter, it's about 13,000 followers, I typically try to upload my most popular TikToks without the watermark to my Twitter, just to see how they'll perform. Twitter is a much different space, and as you know, it's not primarily generated towards video content, so it's pretty hit or miss, but sometimes the videos do quite well and then are able to bring me new Twitter followers and also bring me new TikTok followers, because I'll often put a link to my TikTok channel in the tweet as it's going viral. You can see here recently I shared a TikTok that didn't do as well. This TikTok has 200,000 views, whereas the tweet version only has 900 views. But again, you're never going to know unless you try. I've also had the reverse happen, where a TikTok that doesn't do well goes viral on Twitter. Now, something that we should also discuss is what to put in your bio. So I am of the belief that your bio should be the opportunity to let people know what your channel is about, promote whatever is in your link, and then also connect potential business opportunities. I am at a place now where my channel is well known enough that I just have my email and I have what I'm looking for in that email, which is ARCs, press boxes, and other inquiries from businesses, potential brand collaborations. And because I love reading and love getting books for free, who wouldn't? I have my email so that publishers and authors can send me advanced reader copies for free of their books in exchange for an honest review. Now, for For a long time, I was promoting my Substack and my podcast. So my TikTok bio was, my name, my age, and then please subscribe to my Substack. I definitely think that it depends if you're a cross-platform influencer or not. Because I'm cross-platform, I'm looking to build my primary audience on TikTok and then bring that audience with me to other places, even though TikTok is my primary concern. It just depends on what your goals are. So if you have a business or if you're trying to sell a book, definitely this is the space where you can let your TikTok viewers know, because as they're watching that viral video, they're going to be curious about you and they're going to go to your page, and this is where they're going to learn if they want to follow you or not. So some people I see doing their bio as exactly kind of what type of content they can expect. I also find that particularly soothing as a viewer. But if you're at this stage where you're looking for business collaborations, putting your email address, and I would put not your personal email, but your business email, which I have here, my business email address, so that you can allow brands to reach out to you. And I have received a lot of free product from brands. I've done a lot of different sponsorships with publishing houses, with different food companies who have reached out to me to send me free products. I have a few different free things that are en route right now to me because I have this email in my bio. So definitely something to consider as your platform grows. I imagine that people purchasing this course will probably be a lot of the authors that follow me and are looking to promote their books. So I would be very stern and clear in that ask and say, please support my book. Please buy my book. Please help my dreams come true by buying a copy of my book and leaving a 5-star review at the link below. I would just be very, very clear, asking for what you want and what you need, because a lot of times that's going to lead people to giving you that thing. Now, if you're struggling to come up with ideas or topics for posting 10 to 20 times per day, my primary advice would be to use TikTok's features in which they share with you what are the popular hashtags, the popular songs, all of these things. You'll notice in this brief mini course, I didn't really say to use trending songs. A lot of content strategists will say this. I am primarily like a spoken media reviewer, and a lot of my content is reaction based. I sometimes use trending songs, but for me, I would prefer that you just be able to hear my voice. And I also don't like to put any sort of music or copyrighted material, so that I can easily download the video without a watermark and share it on other places. However, looking for the idea generation of what to post in the first place, I would definitely go check out TikTok's resource in this hashtags. When you do, you'll find that you can really helpfully, it's so great that they have this resource. You can sort by industry or what your niche is, and you can sort by last 7 days, last month, last 60 days. So for me, because my niche is likely considered news and entertainment, I could look to see what are the most trending hashtags. And so right now, the top 3 are Drake, Olivia Rodrigo, and Rodwave. And so I could then go look for news articles or information on other social sites or on the internet about these 3 things. I could watch TikTok, some of the most popular ones, to see what type of things people are creating, what they're saying about these, and then think about what is my individual take on whatever the viral moment of the day is, and then how can I make something interesting that will engage my core base while also something that is like popular and trending. When it comes to hashtags, I would use a maximum of 5. I have been guilty of not doing that in the past and going to those websites that are like popular hashtags for this. I would not do that if I was you. I think that too many hashtags can be kind of spammy or bot-like. I think what you should do is, let's say I recorded a video about Olivia Rodrigo, which I have multiple times this week because I love her new album. I would say Olivia Rodrigo is the main hashtag. Then I would say hashtag guts, which is the title of her album. Then I would say hashtag Olivia Rodrigo fan if the video is me speaking positively about her album, which it was. And then I would maybe pick a 4th or a 5th that was a secondary thing. So maybe I would say like music industry or music news, and then I would add it to my music news playlist. And then people that follow that playlist, follow me for that playlist, would then be able to tap into all the videos I've made about different music industry things. And then people who like Olivia Rodrigo, this would likely show up on their For You page, and then they could comment and engage. And now that forum is created for them. If you have too many hashtags, the algorithm's not going to know where to sort that video or what you're trying to do with it. And it's, since a lot of TikTok is about search engine optimization, if you don't have really clear searchable terms, it's going to be difficult to sort your video or put it on the For You page. So another piece of advice I have for you is just to read widely. A lot of like things that I find to post about or things that I have strong reaction towards are because I listen to articles on Curio, I read articles on The Atlantic, I read a lot of books, I listen to a lot of audiobooks, I watch the news, I watch politics, I watch trending videos, so I know what's going on in the world. So not only am I able to offer a take in a timely manner on something that's happening in celebrity news and pop culture news and artificial intelligence news, but I'm able to offer something that I'm actually interested in, really authentic, because I'm sort of listening to tons of different articles and then picking out, well, this was really interesting to me. I really liked this one. Okay, what would I have to say about this? How does this relate to my life? How does this relate to my interests? What would my followers be interested in knowing? I think that primarily you should ask, how does this interest me, so that you can be as authentic as possible, but it is also good to consider, is this something that my followers would care about? I think primarily you should make content for yourself, because it's not going to be interesting if it's not interesting to you. Don't try to like be like another influencer or try to make content in the style of someone else. But I do think, considering, are my followers going to be turned off by this? Is this at odds to things that I've posted on this issue in the past? Just thinking critically. Now, if like me, you post a lot about celebrity news, celebrity drama, because you're fascinated by celebrities, and if you're interested in like media, culture, television, film, all of these things, a great place to learn about the sort of topic of the day, the thing that everyone's talking about, is Pop Base. Pop Crave is also really good about breaking news stories about celebrities. There's a few on Twitter and on the different social sites that are kind of notorious for this. A lot of them will support each other and are likely run by similar people, uplifting the same comments. So you can kind of get ahead of a news story. So for example, when Jonah Hill had that scandal with his ex-girlfriend, I was really fascinated by that, because I think narcissistic abuse by a spouse is like a topic that's really interesting to me and that aligns with my content, because I follow these pretty diligently. I saw the story really quickly as it came out. I was able to read a bunch of articles about it, and then I was able to share my take very quickly, and then have my video be in the collection of videos that are trending about this topic, getting those few 100,000 views, because everyone's going to be talking about it at some point, but you want to really be there first. And so if you can stay on top of news, if you can stay on top of world events, if you can stay on top of celebrity news, then you're going to be able to make that video before everyone else and probably get more views than they would. Now, I'm about to reveal my kind of single biggest tip for building an audience that is loyal to you. And this is through the Friends tab on TikTok. So over time, as you follow people that that you're interested in, that are interested in you, you're interested in their niche, that they make similar videos to you, you are going to develop mutuals, which is when you follow someone and they follow you back. Now, TikTok very logically and smartly allows you to see videos from only your mutuals by going to your Friends tab. So this is a way to just automatically refine all of the people who have at some point liked your content and decided you were worth the follow. Now, it is my deepest philosophy that you get what you give, and I spend about an hour a day going through my mutuals tab, liking, favoriting, commenting, engaging, and supporting the people that already support me, because that love that I'm putting out, I know I'm going to get back, and I want to see these people win. I want to see them succeed. If I have followed them, it's because I like what they post, I believe in what they stand for, and I want everyone to win. I'm of the firm belief that there is room on the mountaintop for all of us. My friend Sadia Hassan, who's a famous poet, we went to college together, she would always say that like there is enough abundance and money and views and all of these things for all of us to succeed. And so you should never look at other people as your competition. You should think about, how can we in loving community uplift one another? So what I do is I spend hours, sometimes more per day, watching to the end, thinking about what I can comment that's, uplifting them. I say, oh my gosh, I loved this. I try to encourage them. This is one of my mutuals I really like. I'll like the video, I'll favorite the video, I'll leave a comment, and I do this again and again and again every single day. I'm a very, very loyal follower. If I follow you and you follow me back, you will likely be receiving engagement from me. I will like the video, I will save your videos, I will watch them over and over, I will comment, because I want to see you win, and I know by receiving that love from me, then you're going to support me too, and we're going to support each other, and we're going to uplift each other. This is my my single biggest piece of advice. You cannot build loving community. You cannot become a big influencer. You cannot make a lot of money unless you are willing to spend time and energy supporting your community. You have to support them day in and day out, because over time, you are then going to build a super, super loyal following who every single time you post a video, it's going to go right to them and they're going to say, oh, there's that guy that always supports me. He's so nice. Let me give him a like. Then it's going to boost that video even more and bring it to more people who are interested in the topic. This is my single biggest piece of advice. Support your friends tab at least an hour a day. I do at least an hour every single day. And I've made so many friends who've become TikTok friends to IRL friends. I've learned so much, and it makes me feel good to help people reach their goals, because as I'm liking and favoriting and watching to the end and boosting them in the algorithm, I know I'm furthering them to my goals, and then they're going to help me further myself to mine, furthering them to their goals. You know what I mean? All right, y'all, you've reached the end. I hope this has been helpful for you. I'm likely going to do a part 2 to this series. I feel like I have more to say, but I also want to make this digestible and not throw too many things at you. So I think this is around 13 or 14 videos. I'm not sure exactly. I'll know when I upload it, but I'm going to stop it here for today. If you've purchased this, thank you so much for supporting me. For anyone who has purchased this, just DM me and let me know that you purchased it, and I will be happy to talk to you about strategies to increase your TikTok. I believe I have an offer that the first 25 will get an email from me in which I will go through your profile and give you 5 actionable strategies. I will try to do that for as many people as possible, but I'm going to guarantee that I will do it for those first 25 who buy the course. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for supporting this TikTok series. If you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me via email. If you're dissatisfied with your purchase in any way, just let me know. Reach out to me via email. Tell me what you were expecting to know or what you feel like I didn't cover enough of, and I'll be happy to discuss that specific topic with you over email. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. It is my goal for you to feel like this is money well spent, and that you're able to learn some actionable strategies so that you can grow your TikTok and start earning money from TikTok. So let me know if there's any specific area that you feel like wasn't really covered, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that I can give you the tools and knowledge necessary to be successful on this platform. I love you guys. I'm rooting for you. I love y'all. I'm trying to move from saying you guys to y'all because I want it to be gender inclusive for all people. Thank you so much for being so kind and supportive to me. Let me know if there's a way that I can support you. And remember from this that if you follow me and I follow you back, you will be receiving engagement from me, because I spend a lot of time on my friends tab. So really, really actionalize on that in your own life. Build up relationships with mutuals. Give love freely to other people, and love will come back to you. I love y'all. I'm rooting for you. You got this. My radiator just turned on. Let's go. There's never a perfect time to post. There's never a perfect time to post. There's never going to be the ideal circumstances. So please, please just push yourself out of your comfort zone. Send those 10 to 20 videos a day. You've got this. I believe in you. I'm going to be rooting for you. I'm going to be right here with you. If you have any questions, just reach out via email. And let's talk. Let's talk about how we can help you reach your goals. Okay. I love y'all. Bye.